Hi guys, and welcome to 316 Automotive, the internet car show that's all about resto and repair. What are we doing today in the shop? We can see right here that we're going to be replacing rocker panels. Actually, we already replaced one. We're welding in the other one. Let me get that for you. Here's the new one, courtesy of Rock Auto, and it's like 15 bucks. Not bad at all. Here's the rocker that you can see, and I've already been cutting it open a bit. The whole thing is rotted out, but good thing that the cab corners are okay, and the inner rocker here is all right. It's only the outer rocker that's bad, and it goes right up to this seam here. So I'm going to cut right up to that seam. That thing right there, that goes the whole way. That goes from there all the way to there. But what you got to do is you got to just cut out the rusty areas, and then you match your new rocker to what you're doing, and you cut it, trim it to fit, and then you weld it in. So, but that's after a lot of rust preventative. You see all this rust here, you got to take care of that. You got to wire brush that out, and then you got to spray it with rust preventative, and then you got to spray some weld primer on there, and then you're good to go. So I'll give you updates. Look at that thing. That's all nasty. All right, I'll give you updates time to time. Here's what she looks like cut out. There's all the crap that I cut out. It's a lot. I still got more cleanup to do, but you can get all this cutting done if you got a Dremel and a 4.5 inch cutoff wheel. That DeWalt there, that thing will torque right out of your hands if you're not careful. It's got a lot of torque. I love it. Okay, you can see we got a lot of cleanup still to do, but that's all right. Last one was just like that, and I'll go over that with you too. All right, I've cleaned up the opening, and I've sprayed some weld primer on the bottom, and then Rust-Oleum Rust Restorer on the inside, all up top, and then all through there. So, and then a little bit out here too. You can see the black, but I'll go over that with primer afterwards. So, the thing has been opened up and cleaned up with all the rust, and so now tomorrow I'm gonna take the rocker panel there, and I'm gonna cut it to fit the hole, and I'm gonna leave probably a 1/2 inch all the way around and overlap, and then weld like that. And that's what we did on the other side, and that works out just great. All right, more later. Okay, here it is the next day, and we've gotten our hole lined out and gotten all good metal all the way around everywhere. So now what I'm doing is I'm cutting this to shape. I've cut the big tab off here. There was a big tab right up here that mimicked this area, which I don't need. So I'm gonna be cutting right, along here for the. And you can see how it fits up like that, and it takes some work to get it done. There's gonna be some more trimming on the top here. To get it where I need to, and I need to trim up this corner here to make it overlap, kind of like that, with a notch cut out in it. And then you can see it's way overlapping the top there, so I need to trim the front end, so I need to trim that. And here's a top tip. You see these bumps that are right here, all those ridges? Well, you can see in the original, there's a ridge, there's a ridge, there's a ridge, there's a ridge. Everywhere a ridge. So you line up both ridges, and you can get a real good fit that way. There's still going to be, don't get me wrong, there's still going to be some muscle work involved, and it takes two guys, one guy to hold it, the other guy to tack it down with the welder. And how you do that is you're going to tack it down along this seam, the upper seam. You tack it down every couple inches or so, and then you wrap it around and you apply pressure underneath here to make contact with these things, and then you start tacking it down underneath. Now here's a top tip. You want to take in between all these ridges here, you want to take a wire wheel and get those all clean, because what you're going to do is on the corresponding area here, you're going to drill a hole right there, right there, right there, right there, etc., all the way down. I drill a 1/4 inch hole. You can pick whatever diameter you want though. And you're going to do a plug weld in there, as opposed to all the rest of it. You're going to do a stitch weld, and that gets it pretty darn good. Then you grind it all down, get it smooth, and keep on going. So, more later. All right, here I've got all the holes drilled right there, and I've removed all the paint, the factory paint around the perimeter and around the holes. Same thing here. Ground the paint off, and what you see here, the gray stuff, is weld primer. You can weld right through that. You try not to have a joint that's exposed to moisture, that doesn't have anything in between it. Same thing right there. The gray stuff is all weld primer. I went and ground all the factory paint off. You see, that's factory paint right there, and then ground off, and then weld primer right there. So that's what I'm doing. Now we're gonna strap this baby in, a couple of straps there and there, and locate it and strap it in. I'll show you that, and we're gonna start making metal. Okay, here she is all strapped in. A couple of ratchet straps, long ratchet straps, just going through the cab, and so that sucks it down real good to this edge here, and pretty well to the bottom edge. So I'm going to tack, of course I'm going to miss the straps, and then once I get the upstairs done, then come down here, put some clamps on the downstairs, and start welding through those holes. And we're going to get there. Okay, here it is, all welded and ground down. Underneath too. I'm going to shoot it with some primer, but what you want to do first is you want to fill in all the rough edges here with Bondo, some kind of body filler, and especially out here and external. So clean it up and sand it down, and then do the primer, and it'll look real good. It'll blend right in. So show you that in a while. Okay, the Bondo is on, and it's wet, it's rough of course, but once we sand it, it's going to look all right. It's not going to be a showroom finish. It's going to be a farm truck finish. It's going to be good. And remember, like and subscribe. Tell all your friends, because this is job done.